everyone, Auntie Tambarambaa here, also known as Tammy Klinger. Thanks for joining me today on my YouTube channel. We're going to create my first creation with the new releases by art by Marlene for September 2023. So I actually can see here I've used stacks and stacks of the paint. To be honest, I make a bit of a mess, but I start with some neons. So I've got the yellow neon, the glow, and the, I think it's wow glow, and the funky, which is the pink. Then I've got hot curry, mermaid, ho ho ho, and some happy. I've got black and white. I've got my glue, and I've got the silver glitter as well. Then I've got the gorgeous new die cuts, the luxury ones called Fabulous Women. And I've used the sticky quotes, and I've used an old Mandala stamp, and sorry, not a stamp, a stencil. But I have used these new stamps called Stamp It. And as always, I've listed them all in the comment section. And then I'm using this new gorgeous collage paper, the colourful one. And I selected that. So as soon as I saw that mandala one, I thought, oh, that goes with the stencil I grabbed. So I pulled that one out, and now I'm just grabbing a page in my perfect size journal, and this one is the one with the smooth paper. So now I know that I want to use one of these amazing women, and straight away there's two there that are, you know, in a yoga position that I thought would be perfect. So I trialled them both out, and I selected that girl with her headphones on. So now it's time to get started. So I begin by, I really like that top left hand corner of the paper, so I just tear quite randomly along the top and adhere this down with gel medium, and I adhere gel medium over the top as well, just to act as a bit of a sealer. And for any of you that have watched other videos of mine, you know this is something I do all the time, putting down a piece of paper and then playing along with it and hoping to match it up. And I guess it's just a jumping off point. It's like I'm not starting with a blank white page. I've actually got some colour and some guidance, because sometimes I can just look blankly at it for a while. So I've added the neon paints to start with. So I'm using the wow, which is the yellow, I think it's boom, which is orange, and the hot pink. And I've just sort of putting them down. I did add a little bit of glow, which is green, to the yellow, just because when I put it down it looked quite yellow, and the one in the picture is a little bit more greeny, so I just tried to tone that in a bit. So now you'll notice there's quite a bit of red in that first part of the bit of the the collage paper that is already there. So I thought I need to add in some red. So I grabbed my stencil, the mandala stencil, and just added some red down quickly with my fingers, and then just lifted it off through that stencil with a wet baby wipe. So I've done a bit of the same with a slightly darker yellow. I think I used the happy over the top and using the dot stencil and just pulling that up. So you can hardly see that on the video. And really this is just about creating layers and having a bit of fun at this point. So now I've come in with the mermaid, and I'm sort of trying to replicate that mandala that's on the left hand side. So I just pop a bit more of the mermaid, which has come out looking quite green on top of the those colours. But that's okay. As I said, this is all about layering and playing. So I then come in with the red, which is the hot curry, and just add a little bit more mark making. I kind of felt like maybe I'd put too many of the mandala stencil in the background, and it was super busy. So I toned it down with a few little marks, and I toned it down with just 3 sections of white paint that I've just popped on. Now they will again get sort of covered up, but it just helped my brain. So now I'm coming in, what else did I do? Oh, I was going to tell you that every now and then you'll notice that I come in with the girl and just make sure that I sort of know where I want her to sit. So I audition her every now and then. And then I'm using the funky paint, and I added a couple of bits over the top of the white just to brighten it all up. and a few little mark makings with that as well. Now comes the bold bit. I guess looking at it on the video from a distance, I actually quite like it. And it's funny how often that happens, but when I'm in the minute in the process and looking at it very directly and the pressure of the camera's recording, I sometimes think, oh no, this isn't working. So yeah, sometimes it's good to watch yourself on a video because you can see where you might have made some changes, you know, in your process. So then the bold bit, I've come in with some black, and you've got to work really quickly because this paint dries really super fast. And I've just come in and I have just pulled that black off through the stencil, and then I've gone around the edge with my finger just to give a frame and a border. And now what I just did then was a couple of little spots of the stencil just here and there. I added in a bit of black sponging through the stencil, and that gives a bit of a bolder look. And so that bold look looks like it's meant to be there. I then just rubbed a bit more black along some of the edges. Hope all that makes sense, but really it's just about building up that layer. So now I decide, I feel like again it's super busy, and so when I need to calm it down a little bit, I always usually add some white, which you saw I did earlier with paint. But what I've decided to do is grab one of these awesome stamps, because somewhere in this paper there were some quite little postage stampy stamps. So this is from the new set, the one with the stars, and using embossing ink I have just stamped it in 3 places. And then I am now added white embossing powder, and I'm just setting it at the moment. What I love about emboss powder is it really sits up on the page, and it's a really vivid white, so much more so than you would get with white paint. So I'm a little bit happier adding that white. I feel like it's just settled it down a little bit. And now I'm just finding a quote. I can't remember which quote I picked. Let me just grab my album and look it up. Okay, it says, your body hears everything your mind says. Stay positive. I've used this a couple of times. It's such a great message and a perfect message for this girl that I'm putting on the page. Because we can all, you know, think negative thoughts and they really can take over. So let's stay positive. And so I've stuck them down, and now I'm sticking the girl down. I think she looks so cute in the middle of the page. And then I just want to ground her into the page. So I don't want her to look like she's just being plonked and she's floating. So a little bit of, I'm just using a black Stabilo all pencil and then a brush just to create sort of a shadow around her. And you can use black paint as well. That's completely fine. And something I didn't explain is I added some blue splatters, that Mermaid colour. And I wasn't actually super happy with the splatters. So I came in with the blue, the Mermaid paint pen, paint tube, and just used it like a pen and did a few extra dots. So it just highlighted those splatters. And then I just scribbled around the quote with a pen, and I'm just adding a little bit of shadow to her back. So it looks, because this page is much darker down the bottom, I kind of thought the light at the top that she's facing is coming towards her, which is the light and the positive, and she's pushing away that darkness behind her. So enjoy the close-ups, and thanks so much for joining me. The new products are just awesome. I'll be back again soon with some more playtime, but until then, I'd love to hear from you.